Hey Joe, it's Folks here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about Facebook ads. I've been using them since 2016 to promote print-on-demand products. I shared this post here inside of the POD Ninjas Facebook group showing some results that I've been generating with ads that I am currently running. And from time to time here on my channel, I talk about strategies that not only are working for me, but also for clients of mine. So if you guys want to follow along, definitely hit that subscribe button, and if you are not a member of the POD Ninjas Facebook group, there's a link down in the description. Now, here are some ads that I have recently seen inside of my own Facebook newsfeed. You can see that they are relatively simple ads, and also that they are bringing the advertiser potentially lots of profits. One of the ways that we can assess this is by looking at the engagement on the ads. You can see that they have lots of likes, lots of comments, and more importantly, lots of views if they are a video. That tells us that the ad has been running for a considerable amount of time, and nobody would really be running an ad for a long time if it wasn't bringing in sales. Now for me, Facebook and obviously Instagram too, because Instagram is a part of Facebook, is the primary place that I have focused my energy on when it comes to running ads to promote my print-on-demand products. That's what we're going to talk about in this video, mainly why that is the case for me. If you're jumping into print-on-demand or looking for a great way to advertise, I would recommend Facebook. I know there's a lot of other places out there like Pinterest or TikTok, Google Ads, or even Snapchat. And lately, a lot of people have been considering those as potential options because they either feel like Facebook ads don't work anymore, or that there have been too many changes to the platform that are going to make them not something that everybody can use. Now, the short answer to those objections is yes, of course, Facebook ads still work. Of course, there has also been some major changes, which I will address here in the end of this video, so stick around if you have concerns about Facebook as an advertising platform, but we'll jump into the video right after this. All right, so the number one reason why I prefer Facebook ads to promote print-on-demand products is because with Facebook, you're going to have the most control over who is actually seeing your ad. If you have watched any of my videos in the past, you know that I always talk about that your niche is one of the most important parts of your print-on-demand store. Watch this video here if you want more information on that. I'll drop the link to it in the first comment of this video. So if niches are so important, that also means that we need to make sure that the people seeing our ad are members of our niche. When it comes to advertising, that means that is one of the most important parts. We want to make sure that whatever niche we are choosing, the people on the other end are actually members of that niche. For example, if we are creating a product like this, we want to make sure we can run an ad like this that is actually going to be shown to people that have an interest in that niche. And in my experience, Facebook is going to be the best place for you to do that. This is because Facebook is arguably the biggest and most popular social media platform. They're going to have the most data, they're going to have the most targeting options, and that's going to help us when it comes to actually assembling an audience full of people that are actually members of our niche. When you begin to look at targeting on Facebook, essentially what you're doing is you are choosing interests to target. Interest is just a word that Facebook has used to allow you to choose different interests that people have. It's essentially a way for Facebook to group its users into different interest groups, hence the name interest. Now, let's jump into my computer and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So like I said, Facebook is going to have the most targeting options available to you. You can really dive deep into your niche. You can go find specific charities or organizations or public figures or websites or brands or a whole bunch of different things that you are going to be able to target. So let's say, for example, that your niche is hunting, right? On other platforms for advertising, you might only be able to type in hunting. However, with Facebook, there's going to just be dozens of other targeting options here. You could type in some sort of a magazine, right? Field and Stream magazine would be here. You can also type in various stores
stores that are going to sell products for people that really like to hunt. Or maybe you can look up some of the most famous hunters in the world, maybe people that have different TV shows relating to hunting, and you can type those people in as well. Someone named Jim Shockey has a hunting show on TV, and if you target them, you'll see that there's about 450,000 people here in this audience. So what I'm saying is, when you're using Facebook to run ads, you're not just going to have really broad targets. In a business model where your niche is super important, you really want to make sure that the people seeing your ad are actually people that are truly passionate about your niche. And that's why it's important to get really specific with your targeting. And that's why I like Facebook, because I can search for really specific interests to be able to target the exact types of people that I'm looking to show my products to.
Now, the next thing is going to be just how simple it is to create an ad on Facebook. What I mean by that is the actual ad creative that you are using to promote your product. The term ad creative simply just means your ad image or your video that you're using to show your audience what the product actually is. On other platforms, your ad creative becomes much more complex. If you are using Pinterest, you need to make it look like a Pinterest pin. If you're using TikTok, you need to make it look like a TikTok. If you're using Google, sometimes you don't even have an ad image or a video, and it is just simple text that is used to represent your product. Take a look at these ads here. These are just more ads that I have seen over time in my Facebook newsfeed that I have screenshotted to use as examples here in this video. One of the things that you can see is that they are all relatively simple. Some of them are simple slideshow videos of various images of the product, and then others are just standalone images, better known as a mock-up, literally just taking the mock-up that you are given from your print-on-demand supplier and using that as an ad. And I think a lot of people that might be trying to explore some of these other platforms to use as an advertising platform for them to promote their products might run into some issues when it comes to actually creating their ad videos. For example, if you are someone that is going to be jumping onto TikTok to promote your products, you're likely going to have to put a lot of effort into making some really engaging content to promote your stuff. And I'm not saying that's impossible, I'm just saying for the average person, that's not going to be something they're going to be able to do. Now, I have not actually ran ads on TikTok, but it is something that I have been researching a lot lately. And if you want me to make a video where I can share everything that I've learned so far, drop a like on this video. If we get 100 likes on it, I will make a video about TikTok ads and share some of my key takeaways from what I've actually learned about the platform. But like I said, one of the reasons why I really like Facebook and Instagram to create ads on is because of just how simple the ad creative process is. You literally just need a mock-up to get started promoting your product. Some of the biggest print-on-demand companies ever have simply just used mock-ups of their product. And honestly, for me, some of my best-selling products have been promoted with ads that are just simple mock-ups that I have gotten from the print-on-demand company that I am using. Now, if you're someone that is looking to get into print-on-demand, or maybe you already have a store and you're trying to figure out which platform you want to start promoting your products on, I want to talk a little bit about the mindset that you need to have when it comes to getting started with any advertising platform. The first is that anytime you're jumping into ads and promotions for your products, your success is not going to be based on which platform you are using. Now, of course, there's going to be good platforms and bad, and ones that you can scale quicker and scale higher with. But really, when it comes down to it, the key ingredient to success with print on demand is making sure that you actually have a great store and that you do have a great product. I wanted to briefly touch on this because sometimes I see people get started with print on demand and they start using Facebook ads and they don't make any sales. And then they end up going into the POD Ninjas Facebook group, for example, and they make a post and they ask for recommendations from people about other ways they can promote their products. They say something like, I've tried Facebook ads, they didn't work, I think I have a great design, I want to try something else. And they almost feel as if they just switch platforms, then it will magically begin to make sales. The thing I want to drive home with you is that ads in general are not magic. They are just tools that we use to promote our products to real people. And if you're currently running ads and you're not making sales, don't assume that the ads that you're running are to blame. There's a good chance that the store you've actually built doesn't look trustworthy, or what you're actually promoting is not something that people want to actually buy. This is something that I talked about heavily in this video here, and again, if you want to check out that video, I will put that link as well down in the first comments of this video. Now, the second thing is that my mindset when it comes to using Facebook is knowing that I am only one product away, meaning if I can create the perfect combination of a niche, a product choice, and a design, I can scale that product relatively easily on Facebook. And I say relatively easily in the sense where there isn't much to do when it comes to actually setting that ad up. I know that if I can create a winning product, I can scale it online. This is something that I had to realize when I was new to print on demand. I was, like many people, not really making a lot of sales, and knowing that I was just one product away from being able to change everything was something that really kept me motivated to keep going. So I wanted to share that here in this video because I know a lot of people out there, they can get pretty discouraged when they're just starting out, and I want you to keep in mind that you are only one product away from being able to scale something online and make a bunch of sales. So like I said in the beginning of the video as well, a lot of people have said to me lately, Joe, do Facebook ads still work? Or Joe, with all of the recent changes lately, are Facebook ads something that we should still be prioritizing? And really, when it comes down to it, what they're talking about is iOS 14. If you guys don't know what that is, a few months back, Apple had released a new update to Apple phones. And essentially what that did was it allowed people to opt out of being tracked while they are on Facebook. And that has resulted in a lot of people making a bunch of videos talking about, are Facebook ads dead? Or here's what you need to do to be successful with ads. And honestly, it's become this major source of a lot of clickbait videos, and it has left a lot of beginners, or even those that have just sort of gotten started with Facebook ads, feeling like the recent changes with iOS 14 have rendered Facebook ads almost useless. And what I want to do here is sort of talk a little bit about that and why it is not something that is holding me back from continuing to go all in on Facebook ads. Now, before I kind of give an explanation here, I want to just mention that this is definitely going to be a little bit of a watered down version of what iOS 14 is. So before you comment and you tell me that, I just want to acknowledge that this is not an iOS 14 video. I just want to sort of put some of you at ease when it comes to understanding what iOS 14 does, and more importantly, what it doesn't do. iOS 14, simply put, allows people with an iPhone and iOS 14 installed on it to opt out of being tracked by Facebook. Now, what that actually means is if I am on my iPhone and I opt out of being tracked, and then I click on one of your ads and I make a purchase, my purchase is just not going to be tracked inside of your ad account. That is literally, when it comes down to it, the primary thing that is happening with iOS 14. Does this make Facebook ads useless? Of course not. That is because there are still lots of people that are using an iPhone that may not have iOS 14. There are also going to be people on an iPhone that have not opted out of being tracked. And also there's lots of people that don't even have iPhones. They are using other brands of cell phones which don't have iOS 14 on them, which means they have not opted out of being tracked. And then there are also people that are still using a desktop computer to look at Facebook. Essentially what I am saying is the only major change from iOS 14 is sometimes if you are making sales and someone that is purchasing is doing so from an iPhone that they have opted out of being tracked on, that purchase is just not going to show up inside of your ads manager. Now, is that a big deal? Of course, because if you're making sales, it's going to be tough to tell which ad it is actually coming from, which might make scaling a little bit difficult. Does that mean you can't use Facebook ads at all? No. Does that mean that you can't scale? No. Does that mean that you can't use Facebook ads as a primary way to promote products? Of course not. Facebook ads still work. Facebook ads are still a great tool to promote your products, and we're just going to kind of have to adapt to some of this stuff. There's even been things that Facebook has done in order to train its software to to better pick up on sales and to use machine learning to kind of try and figure out where sales are coming from. And again, I can make other videos on this, but I know there's already a whole bunch out there. I just wanted to briefly touch on it because I know that if I didn't and I made a video about why I'm using Facebook ads, I would get comments about why I'm not afraid of iOS 14, and I just wanted to touch on it a little bit here. So when it comes down to it, here's why I like Facebook ads. They're pretty easy to set up, the targeting options are great, and I can still choose print-on-demand products, launch an ad, and make a sale and have profits left over. To me, if I can run an ad and I can make profits, that's what I'm going to do. And I have found that over the last few years, Facebook ads have been that place for me, right? And I think that if you're watching this video this long, they're probably something that you're interested in learning more about too. And if you want to get more information, like I said earlier, join the POD Ninjas Facebook group. There's a link down in the description. I go live there every single week and I talk about different strategies that I'm using and different things that I am seeing. So if you wanted to be able to join those trainings, like I said, check out the group. The link is down in the description. Again, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.